Hello and welcome. In the other videos, I've talked about how to set up a meeting using Google Meet or Zoom. In fact, there are many different platforms you can use, and the key part is to use the one that you as the host are the most comfortable with. In this video, I'm going to more focus on the etiquette and some tips around hosting a meeting. So the first thing I'm going to say is always follow the Scout HQ yellow card. This does not overrule that, and that is the most important rule to follow. My rule is to always have two leaders on the call. If you're able to have more, then that is great, but always two as a minimum. I would recommend that you always have a practice with your leaders or friends first. You'll find weird things that come up that, when you're not under pressure, are quite easy to fix, whereas when you've got 20 young people watching you, it becomes quite flustering. Write off the first 10 to 15 minutes just for the hellos. I tend to do the hellos as a hi, and how are you, and what have you done this week? And I go around every person on the call, including the leaders. Now, typically as kids, they give me the same answers. I'm all right, and I've not done anything. But by probing a bit deeper, I get them to give me one thing they've done that week, be it playing a video game, or as one told us after, oh, I wrote a children's book and I illustrated it. And it gave us something to talk about and start the meeting with. Don't be afraid to mute people when they aren't speaking. It's very daunting to do this, but it's a very important tool, and when people aren't muted, there'll be a lot of rustling in the background and it can add a lot of feedback to your call. Also, when you're trying to explain an activity, don't be afraid to say, guys, I'm about to mute you so I can explain this activity, and I'll unmute you when we're ready. That's completely fine. Just explain what you're doing first. If private messaging is available through the platform you're using, turn it off. Make it so that any messages are public. That way you don't have young people talking to each other privately or talking to leaders privately. It's all in an open forum. It's important to make sure you dress appropriately. Now, this can be full uniform. It could be just wearing a knicker. It could be wearing a polo. It doesn't matter. The rule I will go along is if I'm ready to wear it to a face-to-face meeting, then it's okay to wear from the virtual. And by this I mean I wouldn't wear my pyjamas in the hut, so I'm not going to wear it on a call. It's important though as well to make sure you're aware of your surroundings. So my surroundings here are quite nice and neutral. They're not particularly distracting and they're quite quiet. I'm able to lock myself away so that others in the house don't disturb me. But the others in my house also know I am on a call. So that way they're not going to interrupt me, or if they do, they're going to know to be careful what they say or wear. Make the sessions animated. If you sit here really drab and not making much of an effort to be engaging, then they're going to find it quite dull. Whereas if you're engaged, you're looking at the cameras, you're smiling and you're talking and you're happy, they're going to be engaged. So there is an important thing to remember. Your young people are your young people for a reason. You as leaders, that's why they come to the sessions. So just because we're virtual now doesn't mean you need to stop being yourself. Be yourself and have fun. That way the young people will also have fun. When we're in a meeting hut, it's quite easy to go to the side and have a private conversation with another leader. However, when you're on a virtual call, everything you say and do is visible to everyone. So it's important to make sure you have one conversation going and you all stay on point with that. One of the biggest problems I've come across is people being muffled when they're speaking. And a large amount of the time, this is because their microphone is covered. This is one of the easy tips that you can find when you're doing your test with your leaders. They will tell you whether you're muffled or not, and you can make sure that your mic isn't muffled. I have my mic on my webcam, which is on top of my screen. And by doing a test, I checked that it all works. What other ways we can get them doing something on a meeting? It's not always easy to do a full activity on a meeting. But what we can do is set them some offline challenges. And that gives them something to talk about when you get back. These offline challenges can be something like make some origami, or do the necker challenge where you flip the necker off your foot onto your head. Or it can be some badge work. I know many groups of beavers who have sent out, here's how to do a whole badge. We've adapted it so you can do it at home with your parents. Have a go, send us some evidence. The OSM badges at home part is really good for this, but it's important to note you have the gold membership from county, but you need the badge parent portal, which is £1 per year per section. Please make sure you're using the gold county code, which is Birmingham Scouts. Other activities have been included are stuff like the youth commissioners who are putting out a daily challenge. They're being recorded by all sorts of different people in our county, but each day is something new and exciting to do. Check out the Birmingham Youth Commissioners Facebook page for more information about this. Okay. While you're running your meetings, it's important to remember that safeguarding still applies. And in the links below, I'm going to include a few links to the NSPCC and the Scouts advice, as they're very useful at giving you some quick and easy information. As a county, we are putting together a library of resources from people that have run meetings and run them successfully, as it's no point us all reinventing the wheel. During this time, we're looking for people who have run a meeting, run an activity, and run it successfully. If you have, please get in contact with Steve Thomas by dropping him an email and give him a breakdown of what you did and any tips about how you did it. Also, if you're having any problems, if it's technical, please feel welcome to get in touch with me, Jamal Syed, or Steve Thomas from a program point of view. We're looking at where there are the issues so we can identify them and help as a county. So to summarise, here are our hints and tips. Always follow the Scout HQ yellow card. Have 2 leaders in your chat minimum. Use a platform that you feel confident as the host. We've got some videos about Google Meet and Zoom, but there are many others that can be used. Have a practice first with your friends or leaders. It will help you iron out most of the kinks. Write off the first 5 to 10 minutes for just hellos. Don't be afraid to mute people when they aren't speaking. It will help reduce the echoes and keep the concentration. If it's available, turn off private messaging so that you have sight of what's being said. Do dress appropriately. Try to avoid pyjamas and wear stuff you would be willing to wear in public. Try and make the session animated. It will get a lot more enjoyment out. Be yourself and have fun. It's the best way for the kids to have fun. Don't have side conversations. Make sure there is one conversation being had at any time. Don't cover the microphone. Make it clear and unmuffled. Do try and set some offline challenges to give you guys something to talk about when you have your next meeting. The Scout Association has made a really good page containing loads of useful information about virtual scouting. You can find that on the link shown. Thank you for watching.